Hey, art historians, my goodness, long time no see. I just want to apologize again. That flu took me out. I was in no good headspace or physical space to be recording any videos. So I did not live up to my promise in terms of that. So I greatly apologize, and I appreciate your patience as well as the lovely Teresa and I have been going through and grading all of your work. So this is your week 5 summary video featuring my good friend Moon here, who is absolutely in the mood for cuddles. The lovely President's Day means that I get a day off, which is good because I am definitely not 100% yet. So absolutely want to apologize for that again right off the bat. That flu was a rough one, so please wash your hands and take good care of yourself. An extra little glass of OJ or some vitamin C goes quite a long way. Right, Bubba? Yeah, I think he says so. All right, that being said, let's just jump right into it since I am, again, still not feeling 100%, and I've got definitely a little bit more rest and relaxation to catch up on here. But just in reflection of week 4, that was definitely a really big point to get through in our course that had an exam, a very large writing assignment. So as those of you are kind of working through your work and submitting just really wonderful and outstanding things, I just want to say thank you so much. This class is definitely got a lot to it, as we are an 8-week class, has been condensed down from that 16-week version. There is a good amount of work that needs to be done, but just remember all of those different dropped rules that we have in our syllabus. A certain amount of notes grades will drop, a certain amount of writing assignments will drop, a certain amount of quizzes will drop, and those exams as well. So just pay attention to those. The only things that are not dropping are any marks that you get for your self-guided explorations. Those you're tallying up the points as you go, and the discussions. There are no zeros that will drop from that grade either, so just keep that in mind. I want to reflect really quickly on, the 2 quizzes we had this week. Quiz 8 for Rome 1 and 2, and then we had quiz 9 for Rome 3 and China 1. Now, I have to admit, ancient Rome is one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love all of the artwork coming from this time frame. I just finished up a book called Cleopatra's Daughter, or The Daughter of Cleopatra, something like that, by an author named Michelle Moran, and it was a really amazing insight into what was happening at the time of Augustus's rule, especially from the point of view from an Egyptian princess. It was absolutely amazing book. You hear about the commissioning of the Pantheon by Agrippa, as well as some of the other different locations that we studied are being in the process of being made. So it was a pretty good read, well-timed, and sometimes when you're not feeling good, you just need a good book to read. But let's talk about quiz 8. So we did have one question that I just wanted to make sure I'm covering here. We say or categorize ancient Rome and Greece. We always call them classical. And so when an architecture style exemplified by that Pantheon, my favorite building in the world, we are talking about classical as our answer here. Neoclassical, meaning new classical, probably won't end up coming up until 225 or 227. I can't off the top of my head remember which survey course includes neoclassical, but I believe it's 227, and that means new classical, when Jacques-Louis David is introducing us to all of the amazingness of the resurgence of all of that classical style. Gothic is still to come. We have to hang out with all of our Christianity works. Definitely a little JC needs to happen before we get to our Gothic, and absolutely the same thing with the Baroque as well, which is following the Renaissance, and so that's why classical would have been the correct answer for that one. And then looking to quiz 9 for Rome 3 and China 1. Trying to understand what the primary architectural feature of the Basilica Nova in Rome. Now, we had a good amount of different answers, all present within the building itself, but this is the primary. So you have to make sure you're paying attention to those descriptive words. This is something that I have experienced time and time again teaching AP art history at the high school level. They do like to include those very small adjectives that really point you to maybe one answer that is more correct than the other, and so that's why we are listing apps as our correct answer here. And we are taking a look next excuse me, at what other works that are not comparable to the Ludovisi battle sarcophagus in regards to the funerary function. So the sarcophagus of the spouses used to contain bodies would absolutely have been comparable to Ludovisi. King Tut's death mask, though, while it is not holding more than one body, it is just for King Tut himself, it's still related to a funerary function, as is the grave stele of Hegesso, which is marking the spot where Hegesso was buried, and also as a marker of her life through that like low and painted relief details. Now, Doryphoros was a sculpture that was actually found in the Pompeian Gymnasium, really supposed to be inspiration or spear bearer, and so this is not necessarily a funerary function. It's very unclear whether or not this particular figure was done in remembrance of a great warrior or just to reveal and embody those perfect canons of Polykleitos, and so that's why Doryphoros would have been the correct answer here. So now as we move on to week 5, we are well past the halfway point of our course, so congratulations. I must feel really good. You all have been putting in so much hard work. I've really been enjoying reading through your discussion posts and responding. Thank you so much for all of that again. I know this is a lot, but again, remember, you're doing this with a purpose. This is a 16-week class. It's been smushed down into 8 weeks to give you the opportunity to really progress quite quickly through your college education. That's something that I absolutely took advantage of when I was a student at Lindenwood, and I wish all colleges gave that opportunity, because sometimes with those online classes, you can work at your own pace, and then you can really progress through the education that you want at a quicker pace and hopefully get into your fields. I mean, that's the end goal at the end of the day, so definitely remember that, but I do want to commend you all. Now, as we move into week 5, week 6 is already open for you all, and I actually just worked on I'm so sorry. I just worked on week 7 as well. So just making sure that we're looking ahead here. I want to ensure that we are paying attention to that formal analysis paper. This is something that you need to go and see our work in person unless you have extenuating circumstances. So please feel free to reach out if you need it. I don't want to leave anybody high and dry. So the earlier the better. You can get this assignment done whenever. It's already open. If I was you, I would get started. So that way I'm not stressed out at a later date. But that works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. Now, that being said, just make sure that you're also paying attention to the fact that week 8 includes a writing assignment asking you to pull information from the start of each unit in each module. So if you wanted to do that, you should maybe consider doing that now. It would also be a great relief a little bit later down the line when it's out of the way and you don't have to stress. I think that is about it for this week. At this point, I should have most of my, if not all of my grading completed for you folks. So if you notice something that's missing, please don't hesitate to reach out and correct me. I am nowhere near perfect. I will be in my 80s and a teacher most likely and still be looking to grow and learn as an educator and as an instructor. So anytime you have any feedback at all, please let me know. For those that alerted me to the link for the Baths of Diocletian that wasn't working, I apologize. I had some students reach out and then let me know that the link had worked when I taught this course in the past, but it seems that that link is just too buggy to be used consistently, so I have replaced it for those that may need it for future reference. And don't, hesitate to reach out about anything that may be similar in a situation for the future. I really appreciate all your hard work. I hope everyone's staying healthy out there. I know that the flu kind of puts us behind. I literally couldn't do anything for days. So if you're really struggling, reach out and let me know, please. I'd love to provide as much support as possible. As you all have shown me such grace as I dealt with my own sickness, I, of course, have plenty of room in my heart for you all as well, my lovely art historian students. So thank you so much again, folks. I greatly apologize for all of the chaos and being a little bit behind, but I'm glad to be caught up. I'm glad to be feeling better and up and at 'em, and so are these little kitty cats who are now currently basking in the sunshine. So, all right, folks, I think that takes care of it, and I will, of course, see you all very soon. So until then, bye, everyone.